Nathan stared out the forward window of the Cobra gunship as he waited for the next jump in the final leg of their 3-day journey to autosequence. With each jump, he would momentarily turn his attention to the navigation displays, ensuring the gunship's computers had determined their new position in space before calculating the next jump in the series. It was a mundane way to travel, but it was one he was quite familiar with from his years as Connor Tupelo. The Seiki systems functioned in the same way, completely automated for 99% of their journey. If it hadn't been for the occasional flights into uncharted space, he and Josh would never have gotten to actually fly. Of course, all of that had changed since the Doosan had arrived. Everything had changed. Even Nathan himself. He had spent the last 5 years being Connor Tupelo, unaware of his true identity, unaware of the meaning of the images that occasionally flashed into his mind. "I do not know how much longer I can eat this stuff," Vladimir said as he entered the gunship's flight deck. "Whoever decided that this was food should be shot." "Stop it, you're making me hungry," Nathan joked, accepting the plate of food from Vladimir. "I tried mixing a few things together, and then burying it all in sauce to try to make it more palatable," Vladimir explained as he climbed into the co-pilot seat, being careful not to spill his own plate of food. Once seated, he scooped up a spoonful and put it into his mouth. His face soured as he chewed, finally swallowing hard. "I believe I have failed, miserably." "I've eaten worse," Nathan assured his friend as he too forced himself to consume the unappetizing meal. "Impossible," Vladimir replied. "Try eating junk prison food sometime." Vladimir did not respond, his mouth full of food despite its lack of appeal. Nathan stopped chewing for a moment, his face taking on a curious expression. Except for that one time. Vladimir looked at him, waiting for him to continue, but his friend just stared straight ahead as if waiting for the memory to fully form in his mind. Nathan shook his spoon several times as the memory became clearer. "The night before my execution, someone brought me... It was a guard." He looked at Vladimir. "A Jung guard. The same one who had treated me with contempt and hatred throughout my trial. He brought me the most amazing final meal." "The guard did?" "Trevor... something," Nathan said. "He asked me what I wanted for my last meal, and I didn't know what they had other than the crap they had been feeding me." "What did he bring you?" Nathan smiled, remembering. "Corn takat and ergan toda," he said fondly. "What is that?" The best way to describe it would be very tender beef with a tangy fruit glaze and cheesy, spicy mashed potatoes in a caramelized crust. "Sounds delicious," Vladimir said. It was, and unexpectedly so. Nathan thought for a moment as he suffered another mouthful of Vladimir's modest attempt at making their emergency rations bearable. "But that's not what struck me the most about the meal," he continued. "It was the guard. Sore," he finally remembered. Trevor Sore, that was his name. Married with 3 kids. Nathan looked at Vladimir, smiling. The same man who would have been just as likely to slit my throat earlier that day sat down and shared a magnificent meal with me as if we were old friends.